Most of you do not know the difference between the driver swing and the iron swing. With your driver, you want to be able to hit it as far as possible while maintaining accuracy, and with your irons, you want to be able to stay as accurate as possible with extreme precision so that you can make more birdies. Let's start off with driver. Okay, so with driver, we need to make sure that we're set up so that we can create par. Okay, so what a lot of the time I'll see people who are maybe good with their irons and struggle with a driver is they'll just have the ball position too far back, which is going to cause them to hit down on the ball too much. We need to be able to hit up on it to maximize our launch and maximize our distance. So what we're going to do is we'll start off with our feet together like this. If you drew a line back from the ball, it should hit the middle of that gap. Now what we want to do is take a small step with the left and a bigger step with the right. So our feet are very much more than shoulder width apart. This is going to help us maintain stability as we make a really good turn to the top of the backswing. Then what we want to do is make sure that as we take this club back, we're keeping it very, very wide. You'll see that I'm keeping my left arm especially very straight, even my right arm to this position into the takeaway. So once we get here, that's when we're going to set the club and start this big turn. Okay, so this will help us create a really good turn, create really good par. And because our feet are wider, our hips can't really turn as much as, if a narrower stance. So we get the feet quite wide, we turn. So now we create this stretch between the hips and the upper body, which is going to be unwind in the downswing. Another great thing about this setup is that we can get quite accurate, so we can aim pretty well. So with our feet together, when we take our two steps, our club to target line and our feet line and shoulders and hips are all parallel, which will help us get that ball starting on line. So now that we're set up really well and we've made a good turn into the top of the backswing, this is where we need to really pay attention and make sure that we get ourselves into a position where we can hit up on that golf ball and with power. So when you're at the top, what we want to see is that the downswing is started with a pressure shift into the left side, and the hips will start to turn while the upper body tries to stay back, as if I'm keeping my chest pointing back there, so that I don't unwind everything together, because that's where I'm going to swing left and hit more down on the golf ball, which is going to create spin and probably a slice. So we want to see that the lower body drives the weight onto the left side, the hips start to rotate, and from here, that's when everything's going to unwind. And I'm going to keep my head well behind the golf ball so that I can make sure I hit up through impact. From this angle, you'll see that as I shift and rotate, you see that club starts to shallow and gets behind me. And then from here, we're going to unwind and feel like we're pushing up with both feet so that we can hit up on that golf ball, attack it a little more on the inside, and get that thing launching up into the sky. All right, let's give this a go. So start off with our setup drill. 1, 2 steps, nice and wide. Feel that stretch into the backswing, pressure shift, and hit. Absolutely nailed with a touch of draw. Okay, now let's talk about the difference when it comes to hitting the irons. With the irons, we want to make sure that this club travels downward towards it. So I'm going to make sure that I strike the ball first, and then I'm going to scrape the turf after. Okay, so how we're going to achieve that is through our setup and through our feels into the downswing and impact. So what we're going to do is we're going to adopt the same setup drill. Okay, so we're going to again start with our feet together, draw a line back from the ball, and it should hit the middle of that gap. Now this is a 7-iron, mid-iron, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 equal steps and make sure that that ball is fairly central. This is going to give me the best chance to hit down on that ball. You'll also see that my shoulders are level, they're not tilted like this, and my head is right over the top of the golf ball and my chest as well. With the swing, there's going to be much of the same stuff going on except for some slight differences. So what we're going to see is as we take it back, we're still going to be nice and wide, and I like to stop the takeaway when my hands just get past my right leg. From here, I'm going to make sure I really set it with the wrists. This is really going to help in the downswing. And then I'll start to turn. Now, what you'll notice as well is the stance is a little bit narrower so that I can actually get a little more hip turn as well. So here, turn it up, and now I'm in the top of the backswing position with the iron. Now, the important thing here is the feel in the downswing is very similar. So we're going to get that pressure shift. We're still going to separate. But from here, we need to be striking down at that golf ball. So I'm going to be using my hands and arms a lot more to strike down into it. Okay, almost imagining like there's a nail sticking out of the ball right there, and this is my hammer. Okay, so I want to hammer that nail well into the golf ball, and then I want to catch the ground afterwards. So kind of like that. You see where I hit the ground well after the golf ball. So I think if you're struggling with your irons and you're maybe coming back on it like this, it's a good idea to get to the top and feel that you're really pushing across. Like I don't think you can feel it enough that you're getting your weight across into the front foot and you're striking that ground well after the ball. From this angle, you'll see that I get to my takeaway, I turn to the top, very similar stretch, get that shift, and then I'm striking down at the golf ball, and then I'll hit the ground afterward. All right, let's give this one a go. Same process, basically. So 2 steps, fairly central, not as wide, about shoulder width apart. And we're going to swing to the top, pressure shift, and stay down through impact. Again, beautiful strike. Now you'll see as well, to really make sure I hit down on that golf ball, I kind of held my finish off very low like this. I didn't let it come up and round into this position. I'll do that when I'm trying to hit a little higher with the irons. What I want to feel, especially when I'm practicing, is feeling it nice and low like this, and then when that's a full swing, I'll come round here. So it's a much lower finish so that I make sure that I'm always working down towards that golf ball. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let's recap. So with the driver, obviously we want to go up on it so we can maximize our launch, speed and distance. And with the irons, we want to kind of work down to the ball and then strike the ground after, okay? Now, if you go ahead and work on this, you're going to see a big difference in both parts of your game. Maybe a lot of the time when I'm coaching, I see people that are good at one or the other. So if that's you, then just focus on one of the tips that we worked on here today, whether it was the irons or the driver. Please let me know in the comments if this video helped, and let me know if there's anything else you want to see. And feel free to subscribe. It's completely free. You'll not miss any future content that's coming up. And enjoy your golf. Enjoy being better with both irons and driver. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.